Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94. You're back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to Coconut Cancun, rappers and video games. Shout out to Coconut Cancun. He makes really good content, especially when we talking about rappers and albums and stuff like that. He takes deep dives on them. And we're going to do rappers and video games. This is a deep dive. It's 37 minutes. I'm going to try and hold all the pauses as much as I can. And yeah, let's get right into it.
When you go, model, we model for the ultimate test. T-Mac, never the rap.
You're becoming correct.
Roll a 300 for yacht with quartz on the deck.
Then take a dip in the pool after breaking the sweat. This is NBA ballers if it's on in it's on. Where the players invite you into their matches and homes.
It's like Tekken. Jump kick, put tips on you in a second. Ready for the battle. You can pick the weapons. Got this combo. Here comes the blessing. Smash on your pronto from all directions.
Damn.
Line the fade up. Let's get the pressing.
They had Snoop Dogg and Tekken.
You my next win. Get your powered up and come back.
Now who got game when it come to this basketball? Pacing on the world, the first time was thinking in town. Can you shoot a 3-pointer? Can you do the finger roll? Can you take it from 5 over, take it to the hole? Can you hoop it up? I let hoop it up. And can you follow you? See how fast you can scoop it up? We got it. Come on, man.
We got what it takes to ball. If you got what it takes for D, bitch, when you need a bitch, bring your ball game, sneaks and all, get lost.
Come on, man. Take me back. Oh my goodness. Am I gooey?
Alright, let's get straight into this one. Before I get more into the video, I would first like to thank you guys for coming to see this. If you like the content, you should like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Also, follow me on Instagram too. That would be greatly appreciated. You guys can always reach out and just show me some love. It's all good. Let me know where you're tuning in from, represent where you're from. Most importantly, comment down below what your favorite video game is and why. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Video games, as far as I can remember, have always been a part of my life. The same goes for rap music and the hip-hop culture. Today, I will be doing a deep dive into the times that rappers have appeared in video games. For this initial video, I have decided to exclude mobile and computer games. I also will not be counting rappers appearing on a soundtrack because then I would be here all day. At the very least, to be included in this video, you have to appear as an NPC or non-playable character, be a playable character, or voice a character. Those are my rules for this video. I decided to go in no particular order by year or anything like that. I'm just kind of going with the flow, but I did want to start off with the beloved Def Jam fighting game franchise.
Fire.
I can't explain to you guys how much I want the Def Jam fighting games to come back.
They never will.
As a fan of the series, we don't acknowledge that piece of crap Def Jam icon. We do not acknowledge that catastrophe.
Never.
Man, Def Jam Vendetta and Fight for New York were something else.
Yeah.
The history behind the Def Jam fighting games is that Def Jam Vendetta, which was released in 2003, was EA's first attempt at making a wrestling game since the widely panned WCW Backstage Assault that was released in 2000.
Yeah, and another quick backstory on that game too, as far as Def Jam Vendetta, which started the whole Def Jam series in the first place. It was actually supposed to be a WCW game, but what ended up, but y'all gotta remember, Vince McMahon bought WCW, and then WCW was no longer a thing, and then they just put all the guys from WCW and WWE, and then they had SmackDown, and they did the brand split. They had SmackDown here, Raw here. There was their own separate shows with their own set of characters. That's how they had to separate them. But there was supposed to be a Def Jam Vendetta was supposed to be a WCW game. But like I said, WWE, Vince McMahon bought out WCW, and that's how we got Def Jam. So, regardless of how you may feel about Vince McMahon, if it wasn't for him making that purchase, we would have never got Def Jam in the first place. So always keep that in mind. Thank you, Vince McMahon. You're a true legend in this business. You're a visionary, and we appreciate you for everything you've done. Even though you got some fucked up demons, we still appreciate you, brother. You created something amazing.
Aki, who was one of the developers of the game Def Jam Vendetta, were working on the sequel to WCW Mayhem 2 for the PlayStation 2 to be published by EA. However, in 2001, WCW would go out of business and would be purchased by the then WWF, which would ruin these plans. Around this time, Kevin Liles was the president of Def Jam Records and was an avid gamer. He began noticing that music from recording artists was appearing more frequently in video games. Def Jam had been licensing a lot of music to game companies, and he thought, why wasn't Def Jam making video games themselves? This led to him having to sit down with EA to come up with something involving hip-hop and bring it to life and actually tell a story. The developers would have 8 months to make the game. Throughout numerous brainstorming sessions, the details of the game were fleshed out, and the idea of having a fighting wrestling game with rappers was born. The roster in Def Jam Vendetta was filled with rappers such as Method Man, Redman, Ludacris, Ghostface Killah, Scarface, Nori, and DMX, who still to this day is a nightmare to beat in Def Jam Vendetta.
Facts.
The rappers would have input on the game, with the developers asking the rappers what clothes their character should wear, down to what wrestling moves the character should do. Def Jam Vendetta would receive favorable reviews, with people comparing it to playing similarly to WWF No Mercy, which is widely considered to be one of the greatest professional wrestling games of all time. Def Jam Fight for New York would be the next installment in the series, and is one of my favorite video games of all time. This game would greatly expand on pretty much everything that Def Jam Vendetta did. Fight for New York had a bigger roster with more rappers like Busta Rhymes, Snoop Dogg, Ice-T, Exhibit, Slick Rick, Lil Flip, etc.
All the random rappers.
Talk about that pile of filth that is Def Jam Icon. Like I stated earlier, the less we talk about it, the better.
Yeah.
But the roster in that game had rappers such as Jim Jones, The Game, Mike Jones, T.I., Young Jeezy, and E40. As of today, the franchise is dead, but throughout the years, returns have been teased, but no official announcement to bring back the series.
They're not bringing it back.
Has been made.
They're not bringing it back.
I really would love to see a new Def Jam game, and if it does return, I would love to see the series return to how Vendetta and Fight for New York were. The only problem I really see is the potential roster, because Def Jam doesn't have the best roster anymore. The people that I see that could potentially be in the game on the roster right now is Benny the Butcher, 2 Chainz, Big Sean, Dave East, Fabulous, Jadakiss, Jeezy, Logic, LL Cool J, Nas, Pusha T, YG, and Public Enemy. Now, in my opinion, that's not a strong enough roster for the game unless you have one hell of a creation suite if they can't get other people to get on it.
Now, they can get licensing for other rappers. I'm pretty sure there'll be other rappers that will be willing to put themselves in that game. I'm pretty sure you can get I'm pretty sure you can get the Baby in there. I'm pretty sure you can get other rappers from other labels. I'm pretty sure Def Jam still has a good rapport with other labels to put them in a video game, and then to put the rappers' music in there, and then you got all these rappers. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of rappers that would love to be in that video game, but it depends on who's gonna make it, because EA ain't gonna make it. Shit, you don't want EA to make a game right now. EA is the last company you want to make a video, bring back a franchise and make a video game. You damn sure don't want 2K to do it. You got to find a good gaming company that wants to do it. I would highly recommend going to THQ, since they was the only one that made good wrestling games, if we being honest. Shit, I would go to THQ and ask them to make the game. That's the only company I can trust. with a wrestling fighting game, I can only trust EA. I mean, THQ at this point.
If they can get actors up to date to appear in the game as playable characters like Danny Trejo and Omar Epps did, I think that can really add to it as well.
That shit was so random.
Maybe they can even get Tariq or Ghost from Power, who knows? But speaking of Power, as some of you may know, I was the biggest 50 Cent fan as a kid. He was my favorite rapper growing up, and being an avid gamer as a kid, I always wanted to play his video games. Still to this day, I haven't, and I really need to sometime in the near future.
I need to too. I never played Bulletproof or Sand or Line in the Sand. I never played them games either.
His career was booming because by this time, his debut album was 6 times platinum. G-Unit's debut album was double platinum, and 50's sophomore album went quadruple platinum before the release of Bulletproof. Not only was 50 killing it with the music, but he was venturing out into other avenues, with him releasing a movie days before Bulletproof. 50 Cent had a vitamin water and Reebok deal. I mean, we can go on and on. You get the point now. So 50 was doing all of these things, and another industry that 50 wanted to get into was the video game industry. Like I mentioned, 50 has called himself an avid gamer, with him saying that he was a fan of older games that he played when he was growing up. This love for video games drove him to make his own, with him ending up being the main character, supported by his G-Unit crew along with Eminem and Dr. Dre. Initially, 50 would get approached by video game developers for him being a character in their games, but this didn't make any sense to 50 at all. So 50 would go out and make his own video game called 50 Cent Bulletproof, which was released in November of 2005. The story of the game revolves around 50 Cent seeking vengeance against the hitman who attempted to kill him. Other characters in the game consist of Dr. Dre, who plays an arms dealer, Eminem, who plays a corrupt cop, and DJ Whoo Kid, who plays himself as a person selling bootleg G-Unit music out of his trunk. Tony Yayo is an explosives expert. Lloyd Banks is a locksmith. A Young Bucks character specializes in weaponry. Despite negative reviews, within the first 2 months of release, the game nearly sold 700,000 copies. 50 originally had plans to make a Bulletproof 2, but we would ultimately see 50 Cent release 50 Cent Blood on the Sand in February of 2009. This game received more favorable reviews, but didn't sell as well as Bulletproof did. While 50 was still popular in 2009, he wasn't as popular musically as he once was. An interesting thing that I did find out is that 50 had plans to turn the Saints Row franchise into a movie. I found an interview in 2009 with him talking about it. 50 now had a relationship with THQ, which is a video game company, and would be the publisher for Blood on the Sand and the Saints Row games at the time. Blood on the Sand would have a completely different publisher and developer from Bulletproof. As we now know, the Saints Row movie never happened. Something else that I did find interesting is that 50 Cent was a voice actor in Modern Warfare 2, which I thought was really cool. Another rapper that has appeared in the Call of Duty franchise is Snoop Dogg. In Call of Duty Vanguard, which was released in November of 2021, you can play as Snoop by picking up the Tracer Pack Snoop Dogg Operator Bundle. This would not be the only Call of Duty game that he would appear in, because he would also do voice work for Call of Duty Ghost, which was released in November of 2013. His work would be part of a Snoop Dogg voice pack where he was the announcer for the multiplayer mode. I've seen clips of some of the things that he would say during battle, and some of his lines are hilarious. As we know, Snoop is the ultimate king of side quests in life, and he has appeared in a lot of different video games. I would say that out of any rapper, he's probably appeared in the most if we're keeping it real. One of his first video game appearances was in True Crime.
Yup. Not growing. Yup. If you knew the cheat code to get him, you can get him. The only bad thing is about this is you could only play with Snoop Dogg for like an hour. They would literally have a counter, and you can only play with Snoop Dogg for an hour, and then you couldn't play with him no more. You would literally have to restart your PlayStation just to play with him. You have to literally restart your PlayStation, type in the cheat code again, and then replay it with him again. That's the only way you could do it. That was the dumbest shit ever. They only gave you an hour to play with Snoop Dogg, beating up people, doing karate moves on people, arresting people. It was funny, bro. It was funny, bro. That was, bro. Hell yeah. And True Crime Streets of LA is a classic. I can't find a good version of it though.
Crime Streets of LA, which was released in November of 2003. He's a hidden character in the game. You can unlock him by either collecting dirty dog bones scattered throughout the LA map or by entering a cheat code. He has lines and even has his own mini game in the game. How Snoop ended up appearing in the game was due to him providing original music for it. While doing this, he was approached about appearing in True Crime and took up the offer due to his love for video games. While Snoop was the main antagonist in that game, also in 2004, it was announced that Snoop would be set to star in the game called Fear and Respect. The game was initially set to be released in the fourth quarter of 2005 on the Xbox, Xbox 360, PS2, and PS3 consoles. Midway Games would begin production on the game and managed to convince Snoop to lend his voice and likeness to the game. The late great John Singleton, who directed classic movies like Boys in the Hood, would write and direct the game. Previous to working on the game, Snoop and John Singleton worked together for the movie Baby Boy, which was released in 2001. The game would be an open world third-person shooter, which many people have compared to GTA San Andreas, which ended up coming out in 2004, which was the same year that Fear and Respect was announced. The story of the game was that Goldie, Snoop's character, would be fresh out of prison and would be forced back into a life of crime when uncontrollable circumstances drove him to it. The game was set to take place in South Central LA. The name Fear and Respect comes from the in-game Fear and Respect system. Players would have to take on rival street gangs and protect their neighborhoods to earn respect. Other gangs would start to fear the player once their respect reached a certain level. Respect could also be earned through character interactions and clothing choices. Gaining respect and installing fear in rival gang members was vital if players wanted to progress through the game successfully. Everything seemed to be good for the game, but by 2006, the game would be cancelled. There really hasn't been much reason given to why the game was cancelled, but many believe that it was due to how many GTA clones were released after San Andreas. A film adaptation of Fear and Respect by Paramount Pictures was also planned, with John Singleton having some type of role behind the scenes, but the movie idea was scrapped as well. Snoop in 2019, shortly after the passing of John Singleton, talked about reviving the game in his memory, but as of 2023, we have no update on the game.
Well, if it's Midway, obviously you're not going to get that game. Midway been dead since what, 2010? Yeah, 2010. Midway been dead since 2010, so ain't no way you gonna get that game now.
Some other video games that Snoop has appeared in is Turbo Super Stunt Squad, where Snoop voices the character of Smooth Move as he did in the Turbo movie. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is another game that Snoop appears in, with him having his own stage in the game. He appears in the stage, but he's an NPC. Snoop provided the song Knock 'Em Down for the game, which is a hard song, and from what I've seen, people love the Snoop stage. While people love that, people don't really love the Snoop game, The Way of the Dog, which was a rhythm-based fighting game for the Xbox Live, PS3, and mobile platforms. Fans of hockey video games also weren't really feeling Snoop's appearance in NHL 20 as a player and commentator. This wouldn't be the last time that Snoop would appear in a sports game, because he would also appear in UFC 3, where he narrates the game's knockout mode. Snoop, alongside DJ Khaled and Lil Yachty, would be added to Madden 20 Superstar KO mode. Snoop made a song for the game as well. In Madden 23, Snoop got a 99 overall wide receiver and cornerback card in their My Team mode. In conclusion, this man Snoop has appeared in hella games, and I'm not even including the mobile games that he has appeared in, because that would make this list even longer. Now it's time to talk about something that I talked about in my last video. In 2003, Eminem had his sights on video games. He had inked a deal with Conspiracy Entertainment, which was a third-party developer video game publisher. They published games from smaller companies that would face difficulties distributing games themselves. The company would would secure the rights to publish interactive properties across multiple platforms featuring Eminem. The first title under this deal that was supposed to release was a video game called MixTV Presents Eminem. This was set to be the first game in a line of fan appreciation titles that Conspiracy Entertainment planned to do under the MixTV brand. The game featured 4 music videos, including the songs My Name Is and The Real Slim Shady, as well as bonus features and interactive properties featuring Eminem. Conspiracy Entertainment planned to ship both a teen-rated version of the game, which would have radio edit versions of the songs, and a mature-rated version with the uncut material. 1 or 2 people could play MixTV Presents Eminem, either doing the co-op or competitive mode. The game was scheduled to ship in the early summer of 2003 on the PlayStation 1 and PC for $14.99 or less. In addition to this game, Conspiracy Entertainment collaborated with Eminem on ideas for the first next-generation video game under this deal. Trouble would arise when in the summer of 2003, Eminem would be accused by Conspiracy Entertainment of bailing on their video game deal. The company claimed that Eminem signed a deal with them in February of 2003, and they believed that Eminem's representatives pulled out of the agreement to work with the bigger company. Conspiracy would request $5 million in damages. If you want to know a little more about this, I'll put a link in the description for my most recent video, and like I mentioned earlier, Eminem would also appear in the 50 Cent Bulletproof game as a crooked cop. Now let's shift things over to the Wu-Tang Clan, who would release Wu-Tang Shaolin Style in 1999 for the PlayStation. This is another game I have yet to play, even though I really want to. It's definitely on my list because, as many already know, I'm a huge fan of the Wu-Tang.
You will be sadly disappointed in this game. This game was not good at all.
Clan. I really learned a lot while doing research for this game. Things like back in the day, there were plans by Activision to make a Parappa the Rapper-esque dancing game starring Diddy, which I actually think is really funny. Essentially, Wu-Tang Shaolin Style would use the same engine as the highly controversial canceled PlayStation game Thrill Kill. After the game was canceled, it would be reskinned to make Wu-Tang Shaolin Style, which went on to have moderate success. I have heard the soundtrack for the game, and it's absolutely banging for sure.
Yeah.
All the members of the Wu-Tang
That's about it.
would appear in the game, excluding Capadonna, I believe. Something that I did find really cool is that Activision released a special edition set of the game, including a controller in the shape of the Wu-Tang W. It featured all the buttons of the original PlayStation controller, but had neither the vibration capabilities nor the analog sticks of the DualShock controller. Due to its shape, people have said that this controller is very difficult to use, making it more of a collector's display piece than a functional controller device.
I can
Still
tell.
Cool nonetheless. Now let's take it to one of the most beloved PS2 games of all time.
The GOAT of all basketball video games. It is not 2K11. It's not 2K11. It's not 2K16. It is this game right here. This game is the GOAT basketball game of all time. The greatest basketball game of all time is right here in front of your face. If you say it's 2K11 or 2K16, you're bugging. Those games are good, but they not this good. This is the GOAT right here.
Which is NBA Street Volume 2, which was released in April of 2003. I remember playing this game for hours growing up at a friend's house because I never had the game. So many memories, and the soundtrack to the game still to this day is amazing. Just Blaze should also get way more praise for what he did with the soundtrack as well, because the beats that he had on it are insane. Why this game is being included in this video is due to Nelly and the St. Lunatics being characters in the game. How this came about was that after a show during his Nellyville tour, him and the St. Lunatics paid a trip to the EA campus and played what went on to become NBA Street Volume 2. Nelly promised to pen an exclusive song for the soundtrack, which went on to become Not in My House. In return, the designers of the game included Nelly and the St. Lunatics as unlockable characters in the game. I also learned that aside from Nelly and the St. Lunatics, the Volume 2 team invited 3 consultants to visit their campus. The 3 people were Just Blaze, a rapper by the name of Hot Carl, and a pre-Get Rich or Die Trying 50 Cent. However, due to 50 Cent's prior felonies, he couldn't make it past the Canadian border to make it to EA Vancouver.
Damn.
Just imagine 50 Cent in the game. That would have been crazy.
Damn, we would have had 50 Cent. Bro, if we would have had 50 Cent in NBA Street Volume 2, it's over. It's no fucking debate. We got the best rapper at that time in the game. Damn, dog. They couldn't have flew out to go see 50. He in New York. Y'all could just fly to New York. Man, EA, y'all lazy, bro. Y'all fucked it up. That's EA fault. I'm not blaming 50 for that. That's EA fault. They could have. That's the biggest fucking rapper at the time. There's no fucking way you passing up on that. Well, we already got Nelly. I mean, I get it. Nelly was that nigga around this time too. But still, bro, y'all. They would have did numbers. They would have did numbers if they got 50 in here, bro.
Especially with how he went on to explode on the scene in 2003 after the release of Get Rich or Die Trying. While we're talking about the NBA Street franchise, I would like to mention that on NBA Street Volume 3, the Beastie Boys are unlockable characters.
Yep.
To unlock them, I believe that you have to play against them in New York City's Dyckman Park in the Street Challenge mode. If you win the challenge, then you will unlock all 3 members for all of the other game modes in the game. You can also play as the Beastie Boys on NBA Street Showdown as well. When I was making a list,
another thing too is the original NBA Street, the first one, 3LW. Now I know they're not rappers, but I mean they do kind of count. They do kind of count. I mean, I understand they're not rappers, but they do kind of count here. They should count. 3LW was in the first NBA Street. Yes, I'm getting a little tired of your broken promises.
As for this deep dive video of rappers appearing in video games, there was one entry that really stuck out to me, and that was Birdman appearing in Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. One of his nicknames in real life is Baby, and this is the name of the character that he voiced in the game. He's an off-screen character who serves as a mentor for your player. I really loved playing that game as a kid. In another game that I have fond memories of playing growing up,
oh my god,
True Crime New York City. I love the soundtrack to this game,
and
I remember Redman being a character in the game. He makes a brief appearance in the mission The Rat Race and appears...
Nah, the funniest, the best yet funniest, randomest character in this game is fucking Beetlejuice. Yes, Beetlejuice. If you don't know who Beetlejuice is, spell red. Just type in spell red.
As the protagonist of the bonus mission Red Gone Wild, where you play as him. Another game Redman has appeared in is 2K1. To unlock him, you have to enable the Hidden Teams code to unlock the mocap team. You can access Redman via the reserves. He would also appear in 2K6 as well. Most of the people watching this video already probably know Redman has appeared in all 3 Def Jam fighting games. Most know him for being Doc in Def Jam Fight for New York. But now it's time for another interesting entry to this video, and it's Lil Jon being a playable character for Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
You bullshit!
To unlock him in the game, you have to enter the code HIP2HOP at the cheats menu in options. Another weird entry in this series is Action Bronson appearing in UFC 4.
I don't nobody care about that.
Piggybacking off of this, Busta Rhymes will be a playable character in the Celebrity Deathmatch video game.
I mean, that's Celebrity Deathmatch though. Hey, real talk though, they need to bring that. Hey, we need to do a reaction video to that. Celebrity Deathmatch was that shit back in the days, man. That late 90s, early 2000s MTV era, some of the most goated material came from that time frame, bro.
Trying to talk about someone who Busta Rhymes worked with and was signed to in the 2000s, and that was Dr. Dre. As mentioned earlier, he would appear in 50 Cent's game Bulletproof as an arms dealer. This would be the only time that he appeared in a video game for years, and very well could have been his only time appearing in a video game due to him initially turning down being involved with Rockstar and GTA 5. DJ Pooh, who has worked with Dr. Dre for years, said that no is a normal answer for Dr. Dre, which really isn't surprising if you know Dr. Dre and his history. It should be noted that Dr. Dre isn't a gamer at all and doesn't play video games. Dre told DJ Pooh that he doesn't make things for kids because he thought that GTA was for kids. DJ Pooh had to explain the appeal of the Grand Theft Auto franchise to Dr. Dre to get him on board. DJ Pooh would bring his PlayStation with a copy of GTA 5 to Dr. Dre's mansion, and the rest is pretty much history. He's essentially responsible for getting Dr. Dre on board to work with Rockstar and do what will become the contract, which was a DLC for GTA 5's online mode. The DLC features the return of one of the story's main protagonists, Franklin. In the DLC, your online character and Franklin team up together to help retrieve Dr. Dre's stolen phone and USBs, which all have copies of a plethora of unreleased tracks made by Dr. Dre himself. Anderson .Paak and DJ Pooh would both also make an appearance in the DLC as well. Dre, of course, would also appear in it too. Keeping it with GTA, we have to talk about the iconic GTA San Andreas game. A lot of rappers would appear in this game as characters. DJ Pooh is credited as co-producer and writer for the game and is responsible for bringing the rapper Young Melee in to voice the lead character Carl Johnson. The character writer in the game was
MC8, Ice-T, I forget who else.
Voiced by MC8, who has explained how this came about. In an interview with The Art of Dialogue, he explained how he had a relationship with DJ Pooh, and DJ Pooh told him that Rockstar wanted to use MC8's music for the game. During the production of the game, MC8 would be contacted by Rockstar to see if he was interested in voicing a character for the game. He didn't really think anything of it, but did it anyways, and it became a part of many of our childhoods. Ryder's look was also heavily inspired by Eazy-E. The rapper Yo-Yo would end up voicing
I forgot about Yo-Yo,
who's the younger sister of CJ. Ice-T would be the voice of the character Mad Dog, who's a rapper in the game. Pre the documentary,
I forgot about Game.
Also voiced the character, with that being the character Beat Up, who's a member of the Ballas gang. Speaking of the game, he would appear in a fair share of games himself, all pun intended. He would first appear in 2K10 alongside Kanye West, Twista, David Banner, Asher Roth, and Pitbull. He wouldn't make another appearance until 2K22, where he appeared alongside Quavo. While we're talking about basketball, we might as well just run down the list. In 2K6, you can play as Method Man, Redman, Flavor Flav, A$AP Rock, Questlove, Common, Joe Budden, Ace Yalone, Skills, and I think like a few more I want to say. For 2K8, you have Questlove, Ace Yalone, Phife Dawg, Q-Tip, Common, Big J, and more. I know Questlove is for sure in 2K9, but I don't really know the rest, so some people in the comments may have to fill me in. I already went through 2K10,
2K11 had the best celebrity roster. You had I think Justin Bieber, Drake, Bow Wow. Damn, who else?
11, they had Drake, Snoop Dogg,
Snoop,
Bow Wow, Buckshot, Skyzoo, and Sean Price. By far the most popular instance of rappers being in a 2K game was in 2K13, where they had the Celebrity All-Star Team. This team was insane because the stats that they gave some of these people were crazy. I mean, for instance, they gave Sean Kingston a 97 overall rating, and I think his height was even something ridiculous. On the opposite side, they put Meek Mill as a 71 overall, which I find hilarious because they were just giving out crazy ratings, and he was one of the people that didn't get this crazy rating. And somehow, they gave Bow Wow a 92 overall, and they put him at like 5'3".
He could be a 92 overall. Did you forget about Like Mike, sir? Did you forget about Like Mike? Did you forget about Like Mike? Calvin Cambridge. He can be a 92 overall. Fuck out of here.
Really, nigga?
I'm just saying, bro. Bow Wow can be a 90 overall in 2K. Calvin Cambridge, bro. That's all I gotta say. Calvin fucking Cambridge, bro.
Yeah, 5'5" or something like that. Other rappers on the team are Wale, Chamillionaire, and Mac Miller. After this, I don't think that a rapper appeared in a 2K game for a while. As I mentioned earlier, in 2K22, we would see the Game and Quavo be included, and in 2K23, we would see the likes of Lil Wayne, Lil Yachty, Lil Durk, Jack Harlow, J. Cole, and Polo G be included.
Yeah.
J. Cole would become the first rapper to grace the cover of 2K on the Dreamer edition of 2K23. J. Cole is involved in the My Career mode of the game, and I believe that there are parts in the story when your character has to rap. Boz makes an appearance as well. Switching over from 2K and on NBA Live 19, the Migos would appear in this game alongside Nipsey Hussle, Lil Dicky, YG,
RP Takeoff too.
But let's go all the way back with NBA Live to 2003. In NBA Live 2003,
yup. Busta Rhymes, Fabulous. I think Brandy was in here too.
Busta Rhymes, Be Rich, Hot Carl, DJ Clue, Just Blaze, and Fabulous be unlockable characters in the game. NBA Live 2004.
But that's only it. And it was easier to get them if you bought the deluxe edition that came with the soundtrack CD, which was fire, by the way. I never understood why they didn't do that for Live 2004 and Live 2005. That would have been fire, bro. They only did it for 2003, bro. But 2004 is goated.
Or would have Jermaine Dupri, and you can unlock him by creating a player with So So Def as his last name for So So Def Records. A message will appear saying that you've unlocked him. Now we'll go to the NBA Ballers series, and in the first NBA Ballers, which was
MC Supernatural, we all know.
The theme song was done by Supernatural. He's credited as a commentator and does appear as an NPC. In NBA Ballers Phenom, which was the next game in the series, we would see the likes of Jin, Chingy, and Ludacris, who were playable characters in the game.
Chingy was
NBA Ballers Phenom comes NBA Ballers Chosen One, and in this game, we would see Chuck D from Public Enemy. Here's Chuck D explaining his role in the game.
My role in the NBA Ballers Chosen One is to kind of like be that voice that threads that the world of the street game, the NBA, and also I guess the world of hip hop. Tie them all together with a voiceover that kind of like can bleed in both areas.
Yes! What a jump!
Describing the hip hop action and also describing the nuances in the game with some fantasy land added to it. It's kind of like a bold new baller world, huh?
We gotta play NBA Ballers Chosen One. I never played it. I tried to get it from Blockbuster one time. They didn't have it. They had the case sitting on the goddamn shelf. I go up there with it. I'm like, yeah, we gonna need that Chosen One. They was like, we ain't got it. We sorry, bro. We ain't got it. Nigga, I broke down in tears, bro. I was mad as hell. I really wanted to play that game, bro.
So Chuck D was a commentator in the game, and Just Blaze would once again score the game. Just Blaze did a phenomenal job with this as well. Street Hoops, though, is another game I want to talk about.
Yep. I think Romeo and Master P are the two people you can unlock in this game.
With this game, we would see Cypress Hill, Ludacris, DMX, Silk the Shocker, Exhibit, Master P, and Lil Romeo be included as unlockable characters. The last basketball game that I want to mention is NBA Jam, which has the Beastie Boys, J. Cole, and Ninth Wonder as playable characters.
Oh, wow.
Now, since we're done with the basketball games, we might as well jump into the wrestling games. Starting off with one of the most popular
Limp Bizkit
video, we have
for Undertaker. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Ended up making his way into WWF SmackDown Just Bring It, which was released in November of 2001. The story that I've seen of how he got to be a playable character in the game was that the WWF asked him if they could use the Limp Bizkit song Rollin' for the game. It's alleged that in order for the WWF to be able to use Rollin' in the game, Fred Durst had to be added to the game as a playable character, which would explain why he's in the game. I've never played the game before, but from doing some research on this, it looks like unlocking him was truly a journey. You had to be defeat 15 wrestlers in the Slobber Knocker mode with The Undertaker. This would not be the last time that Fred Durst was in a WWE WWF game, because he would also appear in WWF Raw, which was released in February of 2002. In order to unlock him in this game, you had to win all of the championship belts. While we're on Fred Durst, he would also appear as a playable character in the Fight Club video game. The Insane Clown Posse would be a part of the 2 backyard wrestling games as playable characters. As for MGK, he would be a playable character in WWE 2K22, along with executive producing the soundtrack for the game. Bad Bunny also appears as a playable character for WWE 2K23. Let's exit the wrestling games right quick and switch over to boxing for a quick second. Jermaine Dupri and Q-Tip would appear in Knockout Kings 2000 as playable characters. To unlock Jermaine Dupri, you had to go into career mode and put Jermaine Dupri as your boxer's name. The same thing goes for Q-Tip, where you have to put in his name in career mode to unlock him. Fabulous would appear in Fight Night Round 2 as a playable character. In order to get him in the game, you have to create a boxer and type the phrase "Get Fab" as their first name. Save this fighter and then delete it, and now you should have Fabulous, which is a heavyweight fighter in the game.
Really?
It's time to bring up another interesting entry into this list, and that's Schoolboy Q. Being in PGA Tour, some might think that his inclusion in the game was completely random, but this doesn't seem to be the case. He got into golfing a couple years ago and has said that golfing has changed his life. Schoolboy Q has competed in golf before at a Pro-Am tournament, so in the future, definitely look out for him tearing up the greens.
Okay.
Now it's time to
shout out to Schoolboy Q
series for a quick second. In GTA 3 and GTA Liberty City Stories, rapper Guru of Gangstar would be the voice actor for the character 8Ball.
Oh,
this
wow.
This one is a bit more well known, and Tyler the Creator would voice several random NPCs in GTA 5. There are compilations of his dialogue in the game online, and it's hilarious, so definitely check them out. A game that I really enjoyed as a kid and played a lot was DJ Hero 2. Still to this day, I think that I can beat anybody in the game because growing up I was too nice at it. I never got a chance to play the first one, but
that game had the most randomest soundtrack of all time. I played it one time. Like, it's like the songs that you're trying to match up with, you can't get jiggy with it because it's mostly pop songs. And then it's like 5 or 6 fucking rap songs. How the fuck do you call a game DJ Hero, but you got limited rap songs and you got more pop songs? That, bro, and then the rap songs ain't even really that good. Nah, bro, DJ Hero was trash, bro. The soundtrack selection should have been better. That should have been more of a hip-hop based game. But nah, they want to put pop music in there and try to make it seem like, oh yeah, EDM and fucking dubstep and all this shit. It's like, no, bro. If you gonna make a DJ game, put more hip-hop in there. Or get a big-ass selection. Make it 25 pop chart songs. Put 25 EDM, 25 this, 25 that, 25 rap. That's all you had to do. But nah, like 5 or 6 fucking rap songs. That shit was garbage.
First DJ Hero game was released in October of 2009 and included real DJs in the game. Some of these inclusions were the legendary Grandmaster Flash and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Both appeared as playable characters in the game. As for DJ Hero 2, I vividly remember playing as RZA and doing his Mega Mix as a kid. While we're on the topic of DJ Hero, I think that I should give a mention to his cousin, which is Def Jam Rap Star. For those who don't know, Def Jam Rap Star is a rap-themed karaoke game. And
got that game for my sister when she first got her Wii. That was the first game she had. She ain't know none of them fucking songs. Me and my mom was playing that shit together. Literally, me and my mom was playing this shit together, bro. Because we was the only two that knew all the goddamn songs. They had Tupac, all that on here.
Technically, rappers appear in the game via music videos that play when you're performing a song in the game. Now you can see why this might be.
But it was fun, though. It's a fun karaoke game. If you like rap music and stuff like that, it's a very fun karaoke game.
the gray area of my roles. I can understand the spending more in this deep dive than the 2004 game Get on the Mic, because in that game, rappers don't appear at all as characters or in music video form. But while we're talking about RZA, there's a game a lot of people were reaching out to me about to include in this deep dive, and it's the game Marc Ecko's Get Up, Content Under Pressure. Talib Kweli, Diddy, MC Serch, and RZA would all do voice work for this game. Talib Kweli would voice the character Train, the main character in the game. Diddy would voice the character Dip. MC Serch would voice the character Gabe, and RZA would voice the character Steak. It's time to now turn it over to the rapper Exhibit. We all know the
Pimp My Ride,
which he hosted. So it only
you got to pimp my ride.
Another game
damn right
appearing is the Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay, which was released in 2004. He would voice the character Abbott in that game. The last game that I could find outside of Def Jam Fight for New York and Street Hoops is that Exhibit would be an unlockable character on NFL Street 2, as well as appearing on the cover of the game. Exhibit also appears in Madden 2001 as part of Team Echo. He plays as a left end on the team, with the team having other rappers such as Common, Kool Keith, Noriega, Capone, Be Real, Big Tigger, CeeLo Green, Rod Digger, and more. Now let's take it all the way back to 1995 when Rap Jam Volume 1 was released. It's essentially a basketball game featuring rappers as players. The characters consist of Coolio, Onyx, Public Enemy, LL Cool J, Warren G, Yo-Yo, Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature, and House of Pain.
Damn.
Not much more I can say about this game outside of people thinking that the game is absolutely terrible. A game that isn't terrible though is Call of Duty Black Ops. In the game, Ice Cube would voice Chief Petty Officer Joseph Bowman. The character model for the character is also modeled to his likeness. While we're on the topic of shooting games, Big Boy of Outkast and B.O.B. would appear in the game Army of Two: Devil's Cartel. The two recorded the theme song for the game, which is Double or Nothing. Later on, they would become playable characters in the game, available by an expansion pack. Big Boy and B.O.B. would appear as Tactical Worldwide Operations members Charles Randall and Anthony Barnes. With these last couple of additions to this deep dive, I just want to get them out of the way. But Logic would appear in The Last of Us Part 2. He has a whole video on his personal YouTube channel of how he conned his way into the game. It's quite the story, but it's interesting to note that Logic initially auditioned to voice the character Jesse, but didn't get the part. He then received a call from Naughty Dog, which is the game's developer, saying that they had just written a part for him. He voices the character who ends up getting killed by the character Ellie, and she steals his suppressed SMG, which Logic proudly claims is the best gun in the game. Lil Wayne would appear in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 as a playable character.
Man, don't nobody want to talk about this fucking game right here. This game is garbage. Get this shit off my goddamn screen. This ruined the whole goddamn franchise. Get this shit up out of here.
Makes a lot of sense because fans of Lil Wayne would know that he's really into skateboarding, so it's not as jarring as Lil Jon appearing in a skateboarding game, as I mentioned earlier. Last year in November, Need for Speed Unbound would be released, and A$AP Rocky would be heavily featured in the game. While he's heavily featured, it appears that he's an NPC. Things aren't all the way bad because you can still obtain his sweet car in the game, and he even voices a car horn. This next one was brought to my attention via a post that I did on my community tab asking you guys about the times that rappers have appeared in video games. In the first NFL Street game, the late great DJ K Slay has a team in the game and appears as a playable character. The Executioners also appear in the game as well. For some other miscellaneous entries, we have Ice-T voicing the character Aaron Griffin in Gears of War 3. In the 2005 video game The Warriors, the character Scoops was voiced by DMC of Run DMC. LP would voice the character of Edge. Styles P and Sheik Luch of The Lox would also do voice work for the game, being credited as dealers. We also have D12 minus Eminem appearing in the 2005 video game Crime Life Gang Wars. For the second to last entry in this video, we have the Black Eyed Peas, and they would appear in the Herbs Synth.
These niggas not rappers. These are pops. Bro, Fuck the Black Eyed Peas, bro.
In the City game that came out in 2004. Last but not least, we probably have the most well-known and popular appearance on this list, and that's Travis Scott having a concert in Fortnite. I remember this happening in real time because it was a huge deal, and I remember during this concert, we got the Travis Scott and Kid Cudi song, The Scotts. If you have not seen the full concert, it's available on YouTube. It's truly epic and was truly a moment in time. Another rapper that has appeared in Fortnite is Anderson .Paak. While no members of the Wu-Tang Clan have appeared in Fortnite, I think that the Wu-Tang Fortnite collab should be noted. With that said, this pretty much wraps up this video. I already covered this video.
You forgot the most important one, sir. Sir, you forgot the most important one. Hold on, I got one for y'all. I got a bonus one for y'all. I got a bonus one for y'all. Many people don't remember this because this was this was oh wow, they took it down. It used to be up. Hold on, I gotta find it, bro. I gotta find it, bro. Hold on. I gotta find it, bro. I gotta find it. Because many people forget about this one. Is this a video?
You're watching Boost HD with your host, Adam Rubin.
Please, I don't want to get annihilated again.
I think you're gonna get annihilated.
Because NBA is not my game. Look at this.
Okay, this is live. Oh nah, this ain't it. But yeah, I got an extra one for y'all. Yeah. He ain't bring this one up because they took all the videos down, but the videos used to be up on YouTube. Jay-Z was actually in NBA Live 07. He was actually a playable character. This was the first and probably this was the only time you could ever play with Jay-Z in a video game, bro. This was the only time he was playable. He's never been playable. Yes, he was in 2K13, but he wasn't playable. You would only see him if you was playing the Brooklyn Nets. But yeah, man, Jay-Z was actually in NBA Live, believe it or not. Yes, that is Jay-Z right there. And he had them bum-ass Sean Carter shoes in the goddamn game too. He had them bum-ass Sean Carter shoes. Oh my God. You had to type in a cheat code to get him. My dumb ass tried to do this with the PlayStation 2 version. I didn't have a 360 at the time. I didn't get a 360 till like 08. So around like Live 08. That's when I got my 360. That's when I upgraded. But yeah, Jay-Z was in NBA Live 2007, for those of y'all that don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to see if they got the video, because they used to promote the fuck out that video, bro. Whenever there was a basketball game on, they would promote the fuck out of this shit. For like a whole month. They only promoted it for like a whole month. That was it. Then after that, you never saw it again. They never showed it again. And I think that's because NBA Live 07 was ass. But yeah, that's the last one right there. I'm surprised he didn't put this one in here, but then again, there's no video footage. I guess they took all the video footage down, bro. They took all the video footage down. But yes, There did used to be a way to play with Jay-Z in motherfucking NBA Live. I'm trying to see if there's a video for it though. Let me see if there's a video for it, y'all. Bear with me for a moment. I'm trying to show y'all a video to prove that this was it. Because you had to type in a cheat code in order to get them. Yeah, see right here. The cheat is obtained by purchasing the S. Carter basketball shoes and must be entered while connected to Xbox Live. Unfortunately, the cheat is exclusive to shoes purchased. So you wait. So you had to buy the shoe. Hold on. So you had to buy a pair of bum ass S. Carters, get the code, and then put it in your Xbox. Reebok was tripping back then, bruh. Reebok was tripping back then, bruh. Hell no. Ain't no fucking way. Of course. Of course. But yeah, man, as you can see, Jay-Z was in NBA Live 07. Apparently you had to do some dumb shit to get him, but yeah, there he is right there. Let me try to let's go to images. So yeah, there it is right there. There you go. That's Jay-Z and NBA Live 07 for y'all. But yep, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. This was a dope ass video, man. Jay-Z, rappers and video games, man. Dope. Shout out to Coconut Cancun. And I will see you on the next video. Till then, peace out.